Hello and welcome again to Simmons Fix My Flood. It's that time again where we bring in the experts to talk about what's going on in the world of dealing with floods and renovation. Scott Galden, Simmons Flooring and Renovation. Good to see you again, my friend. You doing all right?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Excellent.
Feeling refreshed and looking forward to a couple events you and I have coming up this summer together.
I didn't know if you wanted to go there or not, but yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be incredible.
And we're going to have some great times this summer.
If we come back with battle scars or we're in traction or anything, then they'll know why. So we'll tease that a little bit.
Avoid the arrest record. That's all I'm concerned about.
Okay. So who's the one phone call? I've always wanted to ask you, who's the one phone call going to? I don't know. Well, speaking of one phone call, the man himself is going to be here with us, Mr. Youssef. I want you to talk a little bit about our show today. We're going to be talking about countertops. Yep. And I know that is such a big deal when it comes to remodeling your kitchen and getting things back to where it was or even improving it. And so there's a lot of questions as it relates to countertops. So tell us a little bit about who we're going to talk to tonight, and then I'll bring him in to the mosh pit.
You bet. So we've had a vendor that we've worked with for probably about 8 years now. It's Granite Artists, and Granite Artists is run by a gentleman named Youssef, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but Youssef has been a great partner for us, been very helpful for our customers, and we want to spend a little bit of time this evening or this afternoon, whenever you're watching this, kind of helping to educate our customers and how to go about making the right decision for you in regards to countertops. So welcome, Youssef. Glad to have you as part of our show.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Youssef, just kind of your background?
Absolutely. Well, I've been in the business for about 12 years. Okay. And been working with Simmons for about 8 years. Mm-hmm. We went through the different phases of countertops, from the granite, and now it's quartz that mainly taking the market. We do almost everything regarding countertops. We have our own stock. We do fabrication, installation, and repairs as well.
Okay, great. Well, and I think that the key is Youssef is somebody that's very customer focused, really concerned about making sure the customer is satisfied, and that's the kind of people we want on our team is people that are in that boat. So I'm excited to be able to talk to you, Youssef, and to share some insights on countertops. We want to educate our customers so that they're satisfied with their purchase long term, that it really matches up with what their expectations are.
So welcome, Youssef. We've got a couple of questions on the show. We like to have a couple of things that customers have asked us or sent in to us, and so we've got 4 questions. One of them's got a little bit of a grouping of questions in it. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Scott and let him walk you through some of the questions that we have tonight. Okay.
All right.
Well, and Youssef, so there's granite's been real popular for a long time, but also quartz is becoming more and more popular. Can you walk customers through the differences between granite and quartz, and maybe hit on some of the other countertop surfaces because I know quartzite is becoming pretty popular right now as well. So, what some of the differences and the benefits are of those stones.
Absolutely. So we can do 2 groups. The first group will be natural stone, which is marble, granite, and quartzite. And the second group will be quartz. So quartz is man-made. Quartzite, marble, and granite, they're natural stone. They just cut them out of the mountains, slice them as a bread, and polish them. And then we start cutting and installing the customer house. Quartzite, it's natural. It's made out of natural stone. So it's about 93% or higher quartzite. They add other material to it to make it stronger, harder, stain resistant.
Okay.
So
what are the strengths of quartz versus the strengths of the more natural products?
Sure. So with the natural stone, you get that veining, nice veining, that random veining, that each bundle of 7 slab that we slice out of the mountain, they have their own character. So you literally have a custom kitchen. Like most of the exotic colors, like it's one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see any kitchen looking like it. When it comes to quartz, it's repeated pattern. So every, let's say, Kalakata Laza slab we order is the same color, same background, same veining. On the other hand, quartz is scratch resistant, as I mentioned, and stain resistant. Plus, it's a very hard material. Granite, quartz, and quartzite, they could be stained. They need to be maintained once a year. I forgot to mention about quartzite is zero maintenance. About quartz, it's zero maintenance.
Yes.
So all natural stone basically needs to be maintained once a year. Needs to be sealed once to twice a year maximum.
Yes.
So you take that headache out of your mind if you go with quartz. But if you want something unique, then you would need to go with the natural stone.
Yes.
So with the natural stone, we always take the marble out of the question when we're talking about kitchen, because it's easy to stain. It's easy to get scratched and it gets aged. It just gets that yellow color after a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Granite much harder than marble. You need to love natural stone to love the granite.
Yes.
You always feel it with the customer. If they're like, can we avoid that? I don't like that. And here it's like, you need to take them toward the quartz. But if they are like, we love that veining, we love that spot here, can we get it on our island? Then you're the customer for granite and natural stone.
Yes.
The second thing is quartz man-made. So you touch the surface and it just completely, no texture, nothing on it. On natural stone, you will feel texture. There's different stuff in the stone. There is sand, there is mica, and each one polished differently. So when you touch it, you're gonna feel some texture in it. On most granite, not all granite.
Right.
Usually the luxury or the high-end quartz or the exotic, let's call it exotic material, is the one with different textures and the one that feels like, oh, there's cracks but they're not actually cracks. They're just veinings that open. And one advantage for natural stone takes more heat than quartz. So natural stone, it's all stone and mica. Granite has about 7% of silicon and other stuff that might get burned. So I won't take something right out of the stove or the oven and set it on quartz. I would set it on maybe a cutting board or just leave it to cool off, then set it on the countertop.
Yes. Yeah.
The other advantage of quartz, that quartz comes backed up from the manufacturer with 7 to lifetime warranty on material. With granite, there is no warranty on it.
Yes.
It's just they come, we seal it for you, and as long as you do the sealing, it depends on lighter material. I would do it twice. On darker material, once a year will be good enough.
Okay. Well, that's a great point about warranties. I appreciate that, Yusuf, because quartz, because it's man-made, has a warranty. Granite or the natural stones, they're made by God. He doesn't provide a warranty on his material.
Right.
So it's real important that when a customer makes that decision and is looking for protection on the warranty, that natural stone has no warranty whatsoever on it. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next question if you guys are ready. It's what are you seeing as the most popular selections right now? I mean, obviously you're dealing with this every day, and a lot of people want to know what's popular and why is it popular. So can you talk just a little bit about what you're seeing right now and what's hot and what's not?
Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I think quartz is more popular now. Why? Because quartz has that white background, light background that you don't see it in granite. You would see it only in marble. So if you want that white look with veining, well, we call it Carrera Carrera and Calacata look. You're not gonna find that look in granite. Granite more veiny, traditional look. I would say marble more of modern look. And now we see more modern kitchens. And you cannot use marble. Well, you can, but it's not recommended to use marble on the kitchen. So the only way to get that white look with the veining is to go with quartz. Plus, most people don't want any maintenance. Like once you tell them it's just once a year and takes 15 minutes of your time, they're like, even 15 minutes, I don't think I'm going to make 15 minutes. And I just want to go with something with zero maintenance. So we see more of quartz. I would say our sales now, it's about 70% quartz, 30% natural stone.
Yes. Yeah. And all that's a function of just the changes in fashion right now. Everything's going to lighter, more modern looks, and you just can't find that in granite. So that's
so it's not necessarily a function. It's much more of a form,
fashion.
Look, fashion. Okay.
It is all fashion.
Very good. Which is really sums you up. I mean, you're all fashion. I mean,
I got my fashion on tonight.
You're absolutely. I mean, you're the eye candy of this show, and quite frankly, of the whole company. What is the process like? This is one where there's a couple of different facets to it. Let's talk about the actual process. Where do we go to look for samples? And Scott, you may want to touch a little bit on the quoting of the prices. So let me toss it first to Scott so he can put it in the context of what he's dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And then Yusef, we'd love to hear from you on this one.
Sure. And if you haven't shopped for countertops before, it can be a little bit of a frustrating process because there's so many different players that are part of the decision process. It's not like buying some of the other materials where you come to our store and we can give you a price right there in the store and we know exactly what it is. With countertops, we have some samples in the store, but a lot of times customers want to see what else do you have or what else are the opportunities that are out there. So we'll send them either to Joseph's Granite Yard or Stone Yard there in Plano, or we'll send them to some of the other distributors of stone so they can look at everything that's available. And when you're in that situation, they can't quote prices to you. They don't know what it is. They sell to us and then we sell it to everybody else. And that's true throughout the industry. So just want to make sure that everybody understands who the different players are and what you can expect, because if you know what to expect, it's not going to be nearly as frustrating. And I'll let Yusef kind of walk through a little bit more about what the process is like when you're out there trying to find what it is you're looking for.
Sure. So mainly it's with the salesperson. So they work with you guys and kind of work with them, and you have a budget. So usually Scott calls us and we have a customer coming in, keep him in the budget up to a certain group, level 4 or level 5. Now we don't know what's the price on level 4 or level 5. We know it's just the higher in the price, the higher in the level, the higher in price. So once they come to our store, we show them what we have in those levels, and we actually are stocked up right now. So we have majority of the material and the most selling material right now, the trending material. So we take them and we show them, but usually they already discussed with the salesperson the material and the colors, and they have idea. So it makes our job easier. Because when it comes to us, we know countertops, but we don't understand cabinets. We don't know backsplash. So what goes with your salesperson will have more knowledge than us. He's seen a lot of completed kitchens. When we leave the kitchen, it's halfway done. So I can't help you what's the trending on granite, but I honestly don't know what's the trending on tile. Is it what trending on the flooring? What's the trending on backsplash? So we show them the selection based on they come usually to us, they know their budget and they know roughly what colors they're looking for. We show them what we have in stock. If they don't like anything we have, we direct them to the slab yards, which is they have a huge selection, usually 300 to 500 colors to choose from. And they go there, they choose material. The thing is, they don't discuss any pricing there. They don't know much about the project. They show you the material, and we always advise them to at least find the 3 options, 3 material that you like, and hold them. And it depends if you're doing a kitchen, hold 2 to 3 slabs. Let's go with the higher 3 slabs. If you're doing a bathroom, then 1 slab will be enough. And then those selection will be emailed to the sales rep, and he works with the customer on the price. And this material can be held for a week. So that gives the customer enough time to discuss it with the salesperson and decide on the color. Then we move forward from there once we get a work order on the material.
Yeah. Well, I always recommend that the customer take several photos of the slabs that they select as well, so that we know kind of an idea of what it is they're looking at. Just because it has a label on it of a color doesn't mean that we've ever seen that particular color before. So while you're there, make sure you take a couple of photos and then send us, then we'll get the information from the distributor, what it is you're looking for, and then we can get it all priced out for you and give you the different options that you're looking for.
So have we covered all 3 of those, Scott?
I think so.
You want to kind of go back to it all? What's the one thing you want customers to remember about this subject? Is there one overarching theme as far as, what to expect as far as that process goes and the whole quote price that you want them to remember?
Well, if I could say, and I think Joseph alluded to this, customers come in 2 categories. One category is the customer that says, I really don't want to see a lot of options. Give me 3 or 4 ideas you think I might like, and let me narrow that down and make a decision. And then you have other customers that are like, I want to see everything that's available to make sure that I get exactly what it is that I want. If you're the customer in the first category, I don't recommend that you go to one of the stone distributors, because it can be very overwhelming. Let us work with you within our store or within Yusuf's stone yard, and let's just narrow down 3 or 4 things you think you might like. If you're the other customer that's really looking for every option that you want, just go ahead and let us know that, and we'll make sure that we set you up with a time to go to the different distribution areas, and you can see everything that's there.
Absolutely. That's dead on. Let's reset the table just a little bit. Who are we speaking with? And then the name of his company is?
Granite Artists. This is Yusuf, the owner of Granite Artists, and they're located in Plano. They've got a big production facility and a slab yard there that we tend to send a lot of our customers to look for product.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I'm going to toss it back to you, Scott, to let you continue on our next question. It's our next to last question. So we got 2 more left.
Okay. This is a question that comes up quite a bit, Yusuf. Some of the materials are sold by the square foot. Others are sold by the slab. I've always tried to recommend customers stay with things that we can sell them by the square foot. It's more efficient that way. Your thoughts on that, and how they might try to make a decision that's best for them?
Sure. So we have 2 lines now of quartz per square foot. We have the Caesar stone line and the Q quartz, which is MSI line, and both of them combined, that's about 150 colors to choose from. So there is a big selection here to choose from, and I would recommend to go per square foot. The reason why, if your kitchen about 90 square feet and you need 2 slabs and 1 piece out of the 3rd slab, then you have to pay for 3 slabs here. It gets costly. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when we do the layout, like we sales rep price it pays 2 slabs, we do the layout and the customer want to extend a little bit more on his island for stools, bar stools, or and it doesn't work. We like, oh, you need to jump in another, we need to buy another slab in order to do so. But when it's per square foot, it doesn't matter how many slab. We just sell per square foot, and whatever leftover, we deal with it. Because when there is a leftover of, let's say, a leftover of 3/4 of a slab, we work with a lot of contractors and showrooms and designers that they can use for another client bathrooms or so. But when the customer end up with a 3/4 of a slab, we have to bring it to his house, and that's a big material, takes so much space, and it's heavy. It's not something they can move around. They have to stay there. Most of the cases, we get phone calls almost every day. Hey, I have half a slab in my house. Can you come and pick it up for free? And we'll be like, no, thank you. We appreciate the offer, but it's going to cost us on transportation and getting the material. And we don't know if that material is still in style or if it's out. So we always recommend to go per square foot. It's easier to price. It's saves some money. And there is a big selection. Again, it's about 150 colors to choose from between the two lines. And those two lines is I would consider that one of the two best lines in the market. And that's why we partnership with them.
Okay. Well, and I noticed that Chris was showing your website. We may want to throw out a pitch for that, because a lot of times customers forget you've got a very feature-rich website. It's graniteartisttx.com. And one of the things I like about your website is it has the room visualizer as part of it. So you can actually take a picture of your kitchen, and it can give you an idea of what different slabs would look like in your kitchen. So for the people that are really having difficulty visualizing what something looks like, you can get a real clear idea of what it's going to look like when it's actually installed. And there's also information about sinks. And what else is on your website, Yusuf?
So when it comes to countertops, there's three things: material, edge, and sink. Those are three decisions that customer has to make. And we have all three of them on the website. So you can go to slabs, quartz slabs, and see a big selection of quartz slabs. Mm-hmm. And since quartz is man-made, is what you see in the pictures, what you're gonna get. Plus, if you click on one of them, it shows you a close-up picture of it. It shows you installed picture of the material. It shows you the full slab look. Once you click on the picture left and right. So yeah, some colors like this color that we just popped out, it's just a simple, no veinings in it. So it's easy to see how it looks like. But when you're looking at a material with heavy veinings, you really want to see multiple pictures of it. Mm. So yeah, then the edge, all of the standard and upgraded edges are on our website. So you can go and look at them and choose the edge that you want. And we have the sinks as well. So you can go to kitchen sinks and look at all kitchen sinks styles: composite, handmade, stainless steel. And yeah, they're all there. So between here, bar sinks, kitchens, utilities.
I think it's very feature rich, can give you a lot, our customers a lot of information. So yeah, I would strongly encourage that you'd want to spend a little bit of time on their website before you go and use it as a resource. Will definitely save you some time.
Yeah, the only important when it comes to natural stone. Yes. Natural stone picture not gonna work. Small sample not gonna work. We want you to come and see the slab in person, because each slab is different. I mean, not each slab, each bundle is different. So when it comes to natural stone, you need to come and look at it. You cannot purchase it per sample, and that's one of. I mean, when you go and buy from a hardware store, they show you a sample. And then when it comes to your house, it's completely different because it's natural. It comes out of the mountain. So when it comes to natural stone, we always get the customer to come and see his actual slab.
I've never understood the thought that you could go to a big box website and purchase something like that and even guess what it's going to look like when you get it. That's just got to be a nightmare, I would think.
Surprise!
Exactly. What's the return policy on this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good. And by the way, from someone that's done a few websites back in the day, very well done, very nice, very user-friendly. I highly recommend the folks go check that out. All right, guys, we've made it to the last question. You guys ready for this?
Let's
All
go.
right, here we go. How do you determine layout of material? I mean, people ask that a lot apparently, and how do you do you get any input where you put the seams? How's that going to work? Do I just trust, my contractor that he's going to do it, or are there things that I need to know as a consumer on this subject? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure. I would recommend the fabricator to take care of that. Why? Because there's multiple things determine where the joint's going to be. First of all, veining on the slab. We want, when we put those two pieces together, to flow. Yes. I can't get like each small vein to match, but it flows. When you look at it, it shows it flows. It doesn't cut. Like we can't have veining against solid. So that's one of the things we do. The second thing is the layout of the kitchen. So the layout and how big are the pieces, it determines if we're gonna have a joint or not. And if we do have a joint, where's the best place to get it. And the third thing that determine the joint location is the size of the slab. The slabs come in different sizes. So in courts, usually 126 by 64. So if we have 300 inches piece and customer wants it right in the middle, that's not going to work. So cutting it and getting the joints is not something that we just cut, get it on the saw and cut. We take sometimes 2 hours before we cut the job, thinking where is the best place, how to get the joints to flow, where's the best place to put it, where it's not like right in front of the customer. So we take thoughts in that. We prefer that we do it. But sometimes if the customer wants to be part of it, if like, no, I want to know exactly what it's going to be, we make appointment for them and we bring him to see where the joint's going to be. So we open the slabs and we do the layout with them to show why we cannot get the joint here, or why the way they want it to be done, we can't do it. And sometimes if we see the customer very particular about the location of the joint, even if they don't ask for it. We have a customer right now, he didn't ask for it. We called him and we said, you need to come and see the layout in our cut shop. Just to show him why we would get the joint here and here, not where he wants it to be, before we start the cutting process. Because once we cut it, that's it.
You can't just...
We can't, yeah, we have to replace
it.
Well, Scott, this is when you start to see the artist part of this come in.
Yes.
There's the technician, there's the the process and whatnot, but you want that element of an artist that can look at it and really tell what's going to look good and walk that fine line of knowing, from a practical standpoint and getting the feedback of the customer as well. Yeah. But at some point, it's just I'm going to have to trust him or her to know this is what's going to look best. And Scott, you're familiar with that with floor covering, obviously.
Yeah.
So
well, and what sets us apart from our competition, and Yusuf knows this, is we've got the experience because we've gone into houses that we've already done. Every time we do a project, we gain more knowledge. I'm learning something new every day, even after 17 years in the industry. I'm sure Yusuf can tell you he's learning something new every day. But that knowledge is something that a lot of other sources can't provide you with. You can't get that in a big box store, but you can get that with us. And that can be very valuable when it comes to yours spending, between $3,000 and $15,000 or $20,000 for countertops. You want somebody advising you that's done it before, that's seen it before, and understands what it is you want. That's
for about 3 years in a row, I worked for a company, and my job was from the day I start till the day I go home, doing layouts with the clients. So I know where to get the joint and how to get the joints and why the joint should be here, not here. So, and the team that cuts, we have 2 guys that do cutting. Those guys have so much knowledge about the stone and the strength and why not the joint here should be here. They are really one of the best. I mean, I consider myself, when it comes to layout, is excellent at it because I've done it for 3 years, nothing else but doing layouts.
Great. You can't buy that kind of expertise, Chris.
No, not at all. That's why we want to ask the expert. So at wrapping this up, guys, first of all, thank you again, both of you, for your time, but Yusef especially for joining us. I want to give you a chance to kind of plug anything you want to, your website address, the phone number, how people can get a hold of you. So I'm going to start with you, then I'm going to hand it over to Scott, let him do the same, and then we'll wrap things up. So Yusef, I'm going to start with you and just tell folks how they can get a hold of you and stuff.
Sure. So they can come to our store. We're located in 3200 14th Street in Plano. We can show them the products, but we cannot sell them. I highly advise to go first with a showroom that they help you with the whole process from countertops, backsplash, and a floor, and they will direct you to us. So the first step should be to call Simmons Floor, and they will direct you to right path to where to go to see the backsplash, which is, I think, their showroom, and where to go see the granite, our showroom. If it's not enough selection for you, we take the next step and we send you to the slab yard. So I think the first phone call should be to Scott.
Absolutely.
Well, that was the right answer.
Thank you, Yusef. And again, I want to thank you for joining our program, Yusef. It's been very helpful for our customers. And to our customers, hope you got something out of this, and look forward to working with you and helping you with your project.
My pleasure. Well, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. Be sure to bookmark the website that we've been talking about today. Make sure that you like the videos and pass them along. Simmons Fix My Flood. You guys take care. Stay cool. It is hot out there. Very, very hot. Blessings on you all. Join us again next week.